All right, today we're going to try and get inside the head of mathematician Eric Weinstein. His worldview is, well, it's a challenging one. He basically argues that progress, as we think of it, is already over. We're going to dive into his whole vision of scientific stagnation, the incredible power we have, and what he sees as a really, really difficult path forward for humanity. It's pretty controversial stuff, so let's break it down.
So someone asked him if we're living in a particularly tense moment in history, and this was his reply: "You're looking at the end, man." Now, that's not just some throwaway line. It is literally the cornerstone of his entire argument that our world is shifting in a way that is fundamental and, frankly, pretty dangerous.
So, what on earth does he mean by the end? For Weinstein, it's not the apocalypse you see in movies. It's the end of a very specific era of stability. He argues that the global order, the one put in place after World War II, is completely falling apart right in front of us.
He has this great analogy. He says most of us have been living inside a kind of bubble, an artificially stagnant bubble. It's been a period of relative peace that is totally unlike almost all of human history. So when we see things now, like hypersonic missiles being used in modern cities or major new conflicts kicking off, for Weinstein, that's the proof. The bubble has burst.
This crisis, as he sees it, is made 1,000 times worse by the sheer, unbelievable power we now have. Weinstein actually pinpoints these specific moments in history when humanity was handed what he calls godlike levers.
And he highlights these three key moments. Think about this. In the early 50s, in less than a year, we unlocked the power of the atom with the H-bomb, and we cracked the code of life itself with DNA. Then, flash forward to 2017. One single academic paper comes out, and boom, it unleashes the entire modern AI revolution. Each one of these was a gigantic leap in our ability to shape our world, for good or for ill. And here's the crucial point, the real kicker. We developed all these tools that can create or destroy on a planetary scale, but our collective wisdom, our ability to handle this power responsibly, it didn't level up at all. It's like we have the hardware of gods, but we're still running the very buggy software of flawed, emotional human beings.
Now you might be thinking, okay, the problem is that everything is changing too fast, right? But here's where Weinstein flips the script. He argues the exact opposite. While technology seems to be speeding up, our most fundamental science, physics, has been totally stuck for decades.
And this slide just perfectly illustrates that contradiction at the core of what he's saying. We all feel it, right? This dizzying pace of change. But Weinstein says, if you actually look at our understanding of the fundamental laws of the universe, there has been no major progress since about 1973. It's the illusion of speed masking a reality of deep, deep stagnation.
He really drives this point home with a cool little thought experiment. He challenges you, go into a room, any room, and take away the screens, your phone, your laptop, your TV. Now look around. How do you really know you're not in 1973? He argues that the fundamentals, our cars, our buildings, our basic infrastructure, are all shockingly similar to how they were 50 years ago.
And this leads us to his most explosive, most controversial claim. Weinstein doesn't believe for a second that this stagnation is just an accident or that physics just got too hard. No, he suggests something way more deliberate is going on.
His theory is that a new, truly revolutionary idea in physics, something like what led to the atomic bomb, could instantly change the global balance of power. Overnight. Because of that risk, he believes there are powerful forces actively working to make sure a breakthrough like that just doesn't happen.
Now, he's very open that this is a theory built on circumstantial evidence, but he connects some very strange dots. He points to an obscure legal doctrine, to the really deep ties between national security and scientific research, and even the bizarre fact that someone like Jeffrey Epstein was hosting these elite conferences for the world's top physicists.
At the very heart of his argument is this concept of restricted data, and this is wild. It's a unique legal idea from the old Atomic Energy Act. What it says, essentially, is that any new idea about nuclear weapons is born secret the second it's conceived. Think about that. A physicist could have an idea all on their own, jot it down on a napkin, and they've just theoretically committed a capital offense. And this is what that born secret doctrine leads to. Weinstein flat out claims that because of this, physicists are uniquely constrained. He argues that the very people whose minds could unlock humanity's future are the only ones in the country legally prevented from freely exploring and sharing their ideas.
So, why does all this matter? Why is a stagnation in physics so dangerous? Well, according to Weinstein, it's because the answers to our biggest existential threats, the actual keys to our long-term survival, are locked away in that very same physics that's not making any progress.
He's on the same page as people like Elon Musk on this. He agrees that we absolutely must become a multiplanetary species. We're way too vulnerable here, all our eggs in one planetary basket. But he believes that just trying to engineer our way out of the problem is doomed to fail if we don't have a fundamental revolution in the science first.
As he puts it, our current understanding of physics is basically a dead end for any kind of real interstellar travel. Sure, chemical rockets can get us to Mars, but to truly explore the cosmos, to secure our future among the stars, he believes we need a brand new physics, a breakthrough that he thinks is currently being blocked.
So this brings us right to the final, and honestly, pretty chilling question that his whole worldview leaves us with. We're trapped, right? We're powerful enough to cause our own extinction, but we're scientifically stuck, completely unable to find the escape route. So what happens next?
And that's the choice he leaves us with. It's not exactly a comforting thought. It's a stark, brutal ultimatum. We either recognize just how serious the situation is and force a radical change, or we just don't. It's a really provocative thought to end on, and it makes you ask yourself, is he a prophet of doom, or is he just pointing to a reality that we've all chosen to ignore?